Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome to a gorgeous 82-degree day in Austin. Jax is here. Jax, you want to say hi? Jax, you want to say hi, Jackson? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss, Jackson. Okay. All right. I appreciate you all for being here. This is the Friday afternoon live stream, which has become kind of my favorite thing. Although nowadays I'm just doing everything on a live stream. Or this week, that's all I've done is morning live streams and afternoon live streams. All right, well, look at this. First, we're going to start with the ETF heat map. Now, what a difference a freaking day makes, you know? What a difference. It's easier to find the stuff that wasn't up. I mean, IBIT looks like Bitcoin was down, but of course, now Bitcoin has been up the past couple of days in advance of this rally. We showed that yesterday, how the daily chart of Bitcoin was trending up, but yet the daily chart of the market was trending down. They both couldn't be right because they usually, assuming they move together. Well, the market played catch up today, and Bitcoin pulled back a little bit, but that's fine. Look at this. SPY up 0.5 point, NASDAQ up 0.75 point. I mean, even the old SOX was up. The only thing that was down was triple leveraged inverse SOC. No, I mean, volatility was down. Crypto was off a little bit, but just pretty much everything else was up. Well, that is great to see. All right, so I made I was trying to think of stuff to talk about, so I made an agenda. TGIF, rough week in the market, right? All right. Open option trades. Let's go look at the trades that are expiring and see if there's anything we need to talk about on those. Then I'm going to mention a day trade setup that I saw today. I put it in Twitter too. I mean, not in Twitter. I put it in Discord. Anyway, all right. So let's start with this. All right, open option positions. So this is active, and I'm going to sort it by expiration. So these are the ones that are expiring in 0 hours. This whole page down to here is. So I wanted to talk about a couple of here's one of the main things I want to talk about. I didn't do any earnings trades this week in Broadcom or CrowdStrike, but I paper traded playing both sides of both of them. Because I've always encouraged people not to do this, and this reiterates. In other words, making a bullish shot at Broadcom earnings and a bearish shot. Well, the bearish shot made $362. The bullish shot made $200. In Broadcom's case, it worked out. But if we would have done it at CrowdStrike also, and I was thinking about doing this. I'm so glad I did. In CrowdStrike, playing both sides would have ended up costing you money. I got to hold on to Jax because there's the FedEx guy, and sometimes Jax likes to bark at the FedEx guy. Okay, be good, Jackson. But that's a prime example. Even if you played all 4 of them and 3 of them won, the one that lost was enough. This is just an illustration of there's no free money. You have to make up your mind and pick a direction, even on earnings trades. That's all I was trying to illustrate with that. Look at this trade, bearish YOLO plus income. This is a 3-leg risk reversal that worked out really nice, but in any event, it's time to take that one off for sure. If you have that one on, take it off. You can't just let it expire because you just don't let it expire. Take it off even if you have to pay a little bit to get out of it. Okay, I'll show bad ones that didn't work out also. We've been rolling puts down. Monday, we did a put trade and did one on Wednesday or something, and they were making money. I kept rolling them, but we eventually got caught. We rolled it, although this doesn't expire till, no, I take that back. This expires today. So that's kind of the way rollouts work. You're trying to keep making money if the market keeps moving in that direction, in this case down, but at the same time, you don't want the market to move up and suddenly cost you all the money that you've already earned on the downside. So let me show you those 2 previous rolls. Morning show trade. There's one morning show trade. That's the second trade. That was 112. And then there was it was a $400 winner. There was 427 bearish trade for this week. Put it on last Friday. By Monday or Tuesday, it was already up $427. Then we took that one off and tried to keep it going and put half of the proceeds into this trade, the one that made $112. Okay, so you take both of those off, you're up about $500. But unfortunately, where's this rollout or this third rollout here? Yeah, cost 143, but 5 less 143, we could deal with it. That's my method for rolling out. Especially on something like this when I'm bearish, like in August. I made money on August 1st and then again on August 3rd. Remember, the market was cratering. Well, the money I made the first time, I just let it ride. I put it all in on the second time. And then on that time, I thought the market was going to keep going down. So I went ahead and put it all in on the third time. And the third time, the market bounced. But I really did think the market was going to crater. But anyway, this time this time I'm not thinking the market is going to crater. I think it's going to test the 200-day and do what it's done, but I don't think it's going to get worse yet. Maybe this fall, but I don't think it's going to get worse yet. So, so the way I handle these, I try to preserve some of my capital. The one that I made $400 on, the next one I risked about half of that. I only risked 200. So even if I lost on the second trade, I'd still make 200 for both trades. And then I risked about a third of what I had going. I just try to risk less on each sequential trade. Now, if the market would have kept going down, I would have, could have made more, but it didn't do it. So that's my way of dealing with it. I just hate, I hate cutting off my upside. You guys know how I feel about unlimited upside. I just in any circumstance, I don't like to ever be capped because the trend is your friend. If you can pick up a market trend where it can trend down for 6 months like it did in 2022 and you're short the whole time and selling rallies the whole time, you can make a lot of money. So I always play from within the context of the trend. So anyway, that's the way I do it with rolls. I just make sure not to risk what the other trades have already won. Sometimes you can't always do that. If the market's not moving down fast enough, you might only make $100 or something. If you try to roll that and only risk $50, it's not enough it's not enough to work. But whenever you have a big windfall, like we had from Friday to Monday, and that trade was all of a sudden one contract trade was worth $400, those are the kind of ones you want to lock in profit on. When you roll, don't spend the $400, just spend $200. Then when you roll the next time, spend a portion of that and keep spending a portion. All right, so that's enough on rolling out. That's more on money management than rolling out, though. It's not really option trading. It's money management. Okay, so I at Discord this afternoon, when it looked like it was going to rip up towards the end of the day, I put in there this might be a good day trade setup. But then I realized that I didn't explain what I meant by that. All right, so this lesson is going to be called "Know Where You're Wrong." Gosh darn it, it's 2:52. I'm thinking about something. Let's do this. Am I sharing the screen? Yeah, I hope I'm sharing the screen. Let's do the trying to think. Let's do a swing trade for next week. What do you guys think about this one? This may be stupid. I don't know, but what about, I'll say about semiconductors, but what about this? What about TNA? What about leveraged small cap? They've been beaten down so much. Let's just maybe like a bounce back play and leveraged. I was also thinking about semiconductors. It could be either one of them. All right. So for next week, here's it is. And since we're kind of I'm not going to explain how I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. But I'm looking at the deltas here. That's a 22 delta, which equates to about a 22% chance of winning. I generally like about a 25% chance of winning or so. That's a 38. That strikes a 38% chance of winning. This strikes a 36, strikes a 34. 350. There you go. Well, let's try it like that. Boom. There we go. That's a decent trade right there. I'll share that in Discord. So this is a bounce play for next week. Like I say, TNA is triple leveraged small stocks. I'm going to put this in right now, but then I'll get on to what I was talking about. Copy link about the day trade setup. I just want to see if any of you guys do this either. Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing? Okay. Now, what I was talking about on the day trade setup, I don't want to get too in the weeds on this, but knowing when you're wrong, a lot of my trades are based on logic, or what I use, my logic, Max logic, Mike logic, whatever my name is. Let's get the 30-minute chart out. I was looking at this, and it was right after all the stuff happened at lunch. The news came out. Jay Powell was speaking, and this bar was forming right there. I have the line on top of that. Can you see that bar right there? Jay Powell was speaking. And then by the time, it was right towards the end of that bar, right kind of at the top of it. So where market was trading at 570. So it's just a math. This is just a math trick. Or actually, I remember the math on this. The low of the market was 566, basically. And it was 3 points away. Yeah, 569. The market was trading 569 when I looked at that. The SPY was trading 569. The low was 566. If it made a new low, that's my stop loss. That's where I know I'm wrong. But if the market doesn't make a new low, I think this thing's going to short squeeze higher. That's the play. Oh gosh, there's UPS, but I got Jax right here. Jax, please don't bark at UPS, okay? Thank you, Jackson. He's probably good at bark. But anyway, all right. So what I mean by knowing you're wrong, if you're buying something at 569, forget about options. Just think about stock. Let's say you're buying the SPY. On a day trade, this is the way I would do it. I would just buy the SPY or futures, but don't even worry about that right now. I got him on the leash. I'll just tell the UPS guy he's on the leash. This is more like a math thing. There's 3 points of risk because I'm going to hit that stop loss if it goes 1 penny underneath that. I mean, I know I'm wrong. 3 points worth of risk. So I had to ask myself when I was thinking about doing this trade, do I think I could get at least double the reward out of that? So I looked at 569 plus 6 is 575, right? I looked at 575 on the chart, and it looked easily obtainable. And I thought, yeah, I think we could do that kind of move. Well, there you have 2 parts reward for 1 part's risk. Most people say get 3 parts for 1 part risk, but I say at a bare minimum 2. So when I saw that I thought, okay, in my head, that's a decent setup. And then I typed it in Discord. Hey, here's a decent day trade setup if you want to play the melt up into the end of the day. And all I was thinking is 3 points worth of risk and at least twice the amount of reward. And then if you're just right half the time, all you have to do is be right half the time, right? I mean, anyway, so, but that's what I was trying to say, just from a math perspective. And we don't talk futures here, and options are a whole different deal because you're also taking advantage of the way I do them. You're also taking advantage of the time decay. But sometimes on just a real quick pop like this, I'll just go buy the SPY. You buy the SPY on leverage. It's not that much. I mean, on margin, it's still expensive. You're spending $25,000. You're tying up $25,000. But when you're tying up $25,000 for an afternoon, so that's, and the more efficient way to do that is with futures. And of course I have futures. Anyone that trades with Tasty Trade, if you fill out the application, you can have futures, and futures are a decent way to make that a quick hit type play like that. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for being here. So we've got our trade of the day in. We've got our I've talked a little bit of math. Always make sure that you're looking for a trade. Try to make sure it's that you can get twice as much reward as the risk, if not more, but at a minimum. Um, yes, Jeff, the trend is your friend until it bends. I've never heard that one, but yeah, the trend is your friend until it ends is what I've always heard. But yeah, bending is what it's literally doing. That's a lot more literal interpretation of it. All right. Um, hey, Dan, what's up? It's snowing in Ohio. So get this. I thought I heard it was going to snow in like the Texas Panhandle or something, like this weekend or something, or up in like Kansas and Oklahoma, or up further north of here. But anyway, yeah, it's still it's still snowy. Springtime's some of the best skiing in Colorado and stuff. We get good snow. Hey, I heard something today. I was wondering if any of you guys heard this. I was watching Bloomberg, and it was just one of the headlines that came across their ticker, but it said some company, I forget the name of the company, looking at snow farming to try to extend the skiing season into June. I mean, and resorts have been doing that for a while. I think they use snow makers and extend the season a little bit, but extending it into June. I mean, it would be cool to be able to go skiing in June, skiing in short sleeves. I mean, I love skiing in short sleeves and jeans. You can't do it very often, but sometimes you'll get a pretty day where you can ski. You really should probably never do that, but sometimes it'll be pretty enough where you can ski and without a jacket on. Let's just say. All right. Well, what else do we have to look at? Let's look at, I guess, the buffer report. See if the market sold off on the close or anything. You do look at this last bar, this bar at 230. It's been a giant range. It's gone all the way from 572 to 577, 5 points, which is 1%, right? Yeah. It's 1% in 30 minutes. A 1% range in 30 minutes. That's something else. I'm not inside watching TV anymore, so it's kind of a disadvantage to be outside because I can't see the scroll going across the bottom of the screen. But I decided I want to come sit outside. All right, so let's see what else we have on the agenda. Hey, Aspen, you go inside with Jimmy, please. Aspen, go inside with Jimmy. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get this one dog to. All right, there we go. Thank you, Aspen. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk. I'm trying to remember stuff I wanted to talk about. We'll talk about this other stuff later. Let's look at. Let's do this. Let's look at the buffer report and the Altiverse. Here we have it. Here is the Altiverse. Alti's down 82 bips, or Alti's down a point. The average stock is down less than that. Alti has negative buffer right now. Bad job, Alti. IoT, the Samsara Corporation, whatever they are called, Internet of Things, is killing us, down 15%. But on the good side, we have Soxel up 8%. I know somebody that's going to be happy about Soxel being up 8% for sure. Him's doing well. All right. So now LFGY, maybe I should have kept LFGY in the mix. I was just trying to de-risk. And at the time, crypto was getting killed. That was, how long has it been since I de-risked? That was about a week. It was before the market really crashed. Week and a half or something. But that was before the Bitcoin and the market kind of decoupled. In the past 4 or 5 days, like we've been talking about, Bitcoin has kind of been leading the way higher. So, now I'm kind of wishing I would have kept LFGY and GPTY. I would have kept both of them. I thought about LFGY and GPTY, but I decided just GPTY. Now the problem with GPTY, or not a problem with it, but the thing about it is it has stocks that like Apple and Broadcom, and it has, thank God it doesn't have Netflix. Thank the Lord it doesn't have Netflix. But it has a lot of stocks that have been getting hit this week really bad because this week they were selling the stocks that had been up the most last year, it seemed like. So that's why Netflix and most of those stocks were just getting murdered. Well, anyway, GPTY, great job, GPTY. It was up an even percent today. That's good. We'll take that. I'll take that. All right, index buffer report. Look at that. WDTE up a full percent and more than the market. Jay must have done a really good trade in there. The market was moving, so he probably did. I bet who knows? I just need to look at it and see, but that's good. Whatever he did, I wish we were watching it. We weren't, but the market liked it. All right, feet's down a little bit, 5E's down a little bit, but probably just because I think they both still have Netflix in them, don't they? Yeah, or they do have Netflix in them. I think they just put Netflix in there too. I think they dropped NVIDIA for Netflix. Right? They put iBit and I don't know. Anyway. All right. FEPI looks really good. And look at SEPI. That looks really good. Triple QI, man, you've got to give it up to Defiance. I know people hate Defiance and stuff, but my Lord, they're having a great day. And I know why people hate Defiance and stuff. They have bad performance in a bullish market. But we're going to talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. USOI, another good day, getting a lot of upside, almost as much as their index. THTA having a really good day. Great job. THTA is a fund that sells iron condors. Really far out of the money. Well, far out of the money call spreads and put spreads. And very, very high percentage. Now, when it has a bad day, it can be really ugly. In fact, let's look at that. That's just kind of the nature of this fund, THTA. It is definitely, it's your classic short volatility fund. But when it has a bad day, it is ugly. And I haven't looked recently. It's had some bad days recently too. But the last time we had a market shock, that was in August. And this is a short volatility fund. It shorts volatility constantly. And it wins 98% of the time. And that's why it has this general slope up. But whenever you have a big, a 3-4 standard deviation move down, boom, it knocks this down. Now, this thing recovered really quick. A lot of people panicked and sold it. And I mean, it recovers fairly quick. By January, it had already recovered back from the August pullback. And it started putting on more, it got into positive territory, then got hit again, but it didn't get hit that bad this time. And even though it hit $18.38, right now it's at almost 19 again. All right, so let's do this also. Switch to Defiance. We're switching topics back to Defiance. All right. Here, I've made a million videos what people don't understand about it. About Defiance or about high yield funds in general, but Defiance in particular, because they're the best high yield fund, meaning they're the highest yield of the high yield funds. On the indexes, there's nothing higher yielding. And that tells us they're gonna have the biggest buffer. So what does that tell us? That tells us they're gonna do bad in an up market. Buffer hurts you in an up market, but helps you in a down market. So not only do they have buffer, they have the biggest amount of buffer. Okay, so what does that tell us? So in an up market, they have the biggest amount, so they're going to do worse than any of the other funds comparatively because of the buffer. Okay, but in a down market with the biggest amount of buffer, they're going to do comparatively a lot better. And look at all this money they're saving versus somebody that has XDTE. Now I just went back to like January 1st. So this is just this year. But, the market pull. But I mean, the difference between 3% and 1% is 2%, but it's pretty big on a percentage basis also. So here's my theory. So people just hate defiance, and of course they do, because markets only go up, right? If we go back and do it for a full, let's go back further, do it since inception. And of course, XDT is ahead since inception. If you go back and do it for this quarter, WDT is doing pretty well. So, and I can tell you, if the market's down next quarter, WDT will outperform XDT again. If the market's up big next quarter, XDT will outperform WDT. It's all it is. That's all it is. XDT's a more of a growth focused fund. It isn't really, but just by virtue of the way they do stuff. And WDTE is more of a is a true pure income fund, and boy, it's a good one too. But yeah, that's impressive. Let's see. I mean, WDT doesn't beat everything. I bet it's not beating SPY or something. SPY's a really good one. Or let's see if WDT is being JEPQ, but it may be being JEPQ. I wanted to do just for this year. Well, let's do it this way. That other dog wants to come out here, that big white dog. Oh gosh, WDT. What the heck is going on? Oh gosh. Aspen, please be quiet, buddy. He's sitting here looking, give me those puppy eyes. Well, that's not a good look for JEPQ, is it? It's getting throttled by freaking WDTE. Anyway, that's one of my favorite things in life is understanding something that other people don't understand. Anyway, so you guys, everyone in my Discord, I'm preaching the choir. All you guys understand this. The funds that sell options the most aggressively and have the biggest buffer are going to do best on the way down comparatively and worse on the way up. But yeah, that's not a good look. I just want to see how WDT is doing compared to Alti. Because ULTY, let's see. WDT's beating Alti. Boy, Alti has not looked good lately. Let's check Alti compared to JEPQ. See if Alti can beat JEPQ. Probably not. No, JEPQ's beating Alti. All right. Well, I should probably go get that dog, but you guys have any big plans this weekend? There's a backcountry skiing at Loveland Pass. 12. Oh, okay. Sweet. Yes, Jay is the man. All right, I need to read these sequentially. Trend is your friend until it ends. Yeah. All right, Thomas. In Colorado, you can ski if you're willing to hike up. I was not aware of that. Okay, it doesn't surprise me. If you're rich, they can take you, yeah, in a ski thing. Hell yeah. Doing taxes this weekend? I am too. I am as well. All right, let's go back to the agenda. I wish that dog would stop barking. All right, yes, politics during market hours. I made a rule this morning, no politics during market hours. It's fun to talk politics. I talk politics all the time with my friends. We talk a lot of politics and stuff. But I broke my own rule, and then I started going on a rant. Then somebody else called me out on it, said, what about the no politics during? Anyway, so that's that. I think that's a good thing. In other words, during market hours, of course, we're going to say, hey, these tariffs, if they really go ahead with this tariff on autos, it's going to, and I have all this GM stock, it's going to kill me. Yeah, that's fine. But I just trying to stay away from the stuff during the day, like, well, I don't even want to say what I'm thinking, but stay away from the real negative stuff, like, that tariffs are because you guys are in a cult or something. No personal attacking or stuff. The tariffs are the tariffs, but we're going to focus on during daylight hours. And I guess after dark, if you go to the polite political discussion room, we can debate it all after dark. I just want to keep it professional and useful, at least during the day. So anyway, I'm in timeout for the rest of the day, but get in there tonight. We can chop it up tonight, whatever. I love talking about tariffs. I love talking about politics. Somebody posted an article, I forget who it was, from the New York Times about Doge, and I'm going to read it and maybe even make content on it later. So like I say, I'm all about it, but let's just, pluses and minuses during market hours. All right. Oh, and also here's one other thing I was going to tell you, just kind of while I'm on a little rant. Man, the mainstream media is terrible. I mean, they are the worst. I know this isn't like a news flash. Okay, Mike, that's something we've known for a long time. But I mean, they're terrible. I mean, check this out. Women strips naked on Southwest flight. Southwest plane forced to go back to gate after passenger strips naked. Naked passenger forces flight. Women strips down, goes berserk on Southwest flight. I read these articles, and not once, nowhere did it say if she was hot. That's all I want to know. Was she hot? What'd she look like? Just tell me what she looked like, right? I mean, what kind of journalism is this? It never says, don't worry, she wasn't that good looking. They even blur out her picture, and you can't even tell if she, that's all I want to know. Why can't they do their job? I mean, they're saying she started jumping up and down, screaming at the top of her lungs. Was she hot? That's all I care about. All right, guys. How are you guys doing today? I'm glad I just, me. All right, guys. I'm trying to think if we have anything else to talk about. I think it's a good day for me to maybe go on a jog with Jax or something. But yeah, I need to do my taxes this weekend also. But every time I let you guys go, there's always something I was going to talk about. So that's why I always try to stall right around the end of it. Well, I'll say this. Okay. Somebody in Discord was we were talking about earnings trades. So this was on Monday or Tuesday. And last week I did really well. And the week before that I did all right. And I said, man, I've been on fire lately on earnings trades or something. And they said, oh, you're hit or miss at best or something. Well, anyway, I said, yeah, probably right. But anyway, so I started thinking about it. It kind of hurt my feelings. I wanted to talk about that. I feel I am the opposite of hit or miss. And I feel the way you guys trade, you guys are the opposite of hit or miss also. And I don't think the guy meant it like that. But here's my idea of hit or miss. I think that I maybe have a 55% chance of getting something right, 45% chance of getting something wrong. I'm maybe a little bit better than just flipping a coin. Okay. And I'm willing to accept that. But I combine intuition, whatever. I combine that 55%, hopefully, with an option trade. Then I put on 3-leg risk reversal, selling puts to buy calls. Boom. We got upside. We got income. We got everything. Got a buffer. We got everything. So at that point, when I have a 55% chance that I think the market's going up, I may not be right, but it's a little better. Call it 51% chance, whatever, it doesn't matter. A little bit better than, that's all I'm looking for is a little bit better than a coin flip. And then you combine it with the 70% option trade with a buffer on it. Here, let me, then I think at that point it is no longer hit or miss. I don't think I forget who it was that said that. And I don't think they meant it that way. But all I'm trying to say is if I ever felt like my trading was purely hit or miss, you need to stop trading, because hit or miss to me implies somebody that's just, that doesn't have a plan and is trading without an edge. And also, I can go back to 2022 and 2023 and 2024 and show positive expectancy and stuff. Well, anyway, but anyway, so if anyone does think their trading's hit or miss, that the way that it's designed, it's not designed to be hit or miss. When you're using options and you know how to sell options for an income, even though that's not the thing you should do every time, selling options is not the one and only be all and end all. It does not work in every circumstance. But when you do that, you're trying to eliminate the hit or miss. That's all I was saying. So anyway, let's go to Discord and see if there's anything else. I posted the Discord link if there's anyone in there. We have a couple of new rooms I want to talk about. Here's the polite political discussion. Like tonight, I do have some stuff I want to say, stuff that, whatever. I'll go put it in here, and it's still going to be, I'm still not going to accuse the other side of being a communist, or being in a cult, or being a pedophile. Nothing like that. I'm just going to say I think the other side's misguided because this policy for X, Y, and Z reason. I'm just trying to keep it, professional, like that kind of stuff. Anyway, but that's where that kind of stuff can happen. I'm going to go later and comment on the Doge article that somebody put in there. There's a New York Times Doge article. And so when we talk about that tonight, that's the forum for that. But that way the people in general, if they don't want to see politics or, they can just stay in general. Then tariffs are a beautiful thing, or a beautiful word. I was trying to be funny, but this is where we can talk about tariffs. And that way it'll kind of help. I'm trying to keep it out of general. I want my Discord to be a welcoming place. I've been on other people's Discords where they're toxic, and I'm trying to avoid that. I don't know if I can, but anyway, you guys are a good group of guys, and I think so far we've done a good job. We've done a good job avoiding toxicity. And I'm just, like I say, I had to put myself in timeout because I'm as bad as any of them. I make rules, but then I always say, hey, you guys act professional. Don't say anything. And then I'll go off on some rant and do it myself. So you guys feel free to call me out. What I was trying to say is that I want this to be a place where everyone feels comfortable. So if there's something that's going on in here, somebody doesn't feel comfortable, write me a chat, a personal message about it, and I'll try to fix it. I want this to be a place that you guys want to be, right? I mean, that's the idea anyway. All right, guys. Well, you're coughing up a lung. You like that? All right. So let's look. I mean, I always forget to do this because all that matters is Bitcoin because it trades 24/7. And the market follows Bitcoin. So what's going to happen with Bitcoin this weekend? What happened at that crypto conference? Did anyone? I haven't been following it. Does anyone have any information on it? Regular. Sometimes what they'll do, it seems like they'll sell Bitcoin over the weekend, or that. And here's what I was really a little bit worried about. Is during the 1:00 announcement where Trump made comments in the Oval, he mentioned that, or somebody asked him that the reciprocal tariffs might come as soon as today or Monday. And I'm taking that as maybe he's going to announce them after the market closes or sometimes over the weekend. And I think they do that to keep it from crushing the market. Maybe he wants to put the reciprocal tariffs on. He waits until futures are closed and everything's closed, then makes the announcement. And I've seen them do that. They did this in 2019 all the time, or 2018, 2019 all the time too. So I'm a little bit worried about that for the weekend. But in any event, we don't have to deal with it till Monday, because as soon as 4 o'clock hits, futures are closed until Monday. But that's just kind of something on the back of my mind related to the crypto summit. Here's the other thing, though. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. 6 days in a row with higher lows, or generally higher. And that was in a market that was terrible. Well, hey, Aspen, come here, buddy. You put him on his leash, or hang on just a second. Hand me his leash, and I'll put him on his leash. That way he won't run off. Thanks. All right. Good boy, Aspen. Aspen, you want to come say hi? Come here. Well, oh, he pushed the door open? I didn't know that. I just heard the dog let himself out. Anyway, we have a door that doesn't. We just put weather stripping on the door, and when you slam it, it sometimes it'll bounce back open. We're trying to keep it from slamming. Anyway, This is definitely the most encouraging chart right here. The fact that there's this huge bullish election gap. They dipped their toe back into it for just a second last Thursday, and there were so many buyers there, they ran it right back out, right up here to this bearish gap. That would have been a great trade, right? As long as this gap's still open and this thing's still going up, the bull market's still here. I mean, that's what we look at it. At least as far as the crypto bull market is. The summit this weekend and what, I think people were disappointed yesterday whenever they signed the paperwork for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And I believe it's because they're just going to use Bitcoin that they already confiscated from criminals and stuff. I think people were hoping the government would actually be buying Bitcoin, but in any event, I don't know. I hope you guys like the new. Format with all the live streams and stuff. I'm just gonna keep doing them, I guess. We'll just do them twice a day. I even thought about coming on at lunch today, but oh well. Yeah, the crypto conference was bearish, at least for the short term. I guess this person said it was bearish as well. Well, I hear you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Come here, boys. Let's see if I can get the dogs on camera. Aspen, come here. Aspen. Come here. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. This dog is so handsome. I tell you what, this dog is something else. He is something else. He turned 10 this year, and he is just healthy as a horse. He doesn't eat table scraps. He's on the raw meat diet. His owners are real into pet health. And this dog, he's never been neutered. Some people say that that's bad, and there's disagreements about that, but he's never been neutered, but he doesn't act, he's not aggressive at all. He's just a total sweetheart. But yeah, he's 10 though, and you know how it is with big dogs, don't usually, well, All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a good day. Thomas, I'm glad you're here. I forgot, I didn't say hi to you. I just saw that. Thomas, you're here. Dan, like I say, I appreciate everyone that was here today, and I will see you Monday. But seriously, we're going to have some more good conversations, professional, polite conversations. Like I always say in Discord, the Discord rules are you wouldn't say anything in Discord that you wouldn't say at Thanksgiving dinner with a distant relative that was disagreeing with you. You're going to be polite. You aren't going to just blow up your uncle at Thanksgiving and tell him he's in the cult, right? All right, so we're just going to be the same way in Discord. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. You have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.